can't even say it, can she? This is anguish. This is that overwhelming pain that we want to release. And not releasing it causes the anguish. So it's important. Look at this picture. The anguish, the anxiety, the pain of grief is trying to get out of our body. It is so deleterious to our body. Grief and stress is so challenging to our body. And we feel grief at a very, very physical level. And now this woman so much pain is trying to come out. And what do we do? What do we find? What do we do when we start to cry, or we're gonna say, we want to say something that is hurt? Oh, I missed an episode. We cover our mouth up. We're trying to lament. We're trying to emote. We're trying to release the anxiety and the anguish within our heart. And we end up by patterns, by neural pathways that we've built through our whole life to automatically stuff that back in again. So we push that grief. The grief comes up and we shove it back down again. And it's going to come out somewhere. It needs release. So find a way to release that so you don't suffer with this anguish. And so please don't try to stuff it back in again. What do we do when we cry in front of somebody? We apologize. That's just ludicrous. That's our pain. That is our tears. That is our loved one that has died. Crying is not only perfectly normal, it is recommended to reduce the stress and relieve the cortisol that comes out in the tears. And so if you find yourself in the depth of anguish, catch yourself doing that and pull that hand back down. And let out the sorrow, let out the lamentations. Lamentations is that expression of sorrow, lamenting your loss, letting it out, not pushing it back in. That is a lot of energy to stuff back into your body. So it's so important to let that anguish out. And with people, sometimes if you can't find people and you feel that anxiety, that anguish building up, one spot that I know from many, many people, and you've probably already discovered it yourself. Actually, there's two spots where we can release and relinquish this anguish. Is one in the shower. Many people cry in the shower because we feel in a safe spot. The door is closed. We're in the shower. We feel safe and secure. It's our safe environment. It's our little cocoon. And we can cry. We let it out. And that is a perfect time to really let that anguish out. The other time is in the car. If we're in the car, we get to a red light and we're just by ourselves in the automobile, we feel secure. The doors are locked. We're in our own little bubble of safety. And we just bang our head on the steering wheel and we cry. Or why walking is so important. If you're feeling like this, go for a walk. The bilateral stimulation that we get when we go on a walk is like in EMDR, and it reduces the anguish. And going for a walk and being in nature, and not only you're breathing because you're walking and you're in the air and maybe you're getting sunlight, but you're also amongst nature, among other living organisms, the trees and the animals and the birds, and to be out above nature can relieve some of the anguish that we're feeling. So there are things we can do. Grief is so physical, so find a physical way to reduce that. We can reduce it by walking, and we can reduce it by talking. So we let it out with our soul. We take the decision to talk it out. With our body, we walk it out. We do things to reduce this anguish, because it will come and go, and we'll feel like this. You may feel like this every morning, and that's okay. But as we move through our grief, we do things so we're not in this anguish every single day. We have choices in our grief. We have a choice point where we can go this way or that way. And some days we choose to stay in the anxiety and the anguish, and other days we choose to do something for ourselves. Practice self-care and take care of ourselves. And take care of your brother and your sister and all those who are grieving. Help them if they're in this state to reduce their anguish. Turn on your heart light.